I will go on with You Are the Daughter of the Sea by Pablo Neruda. And it is really a nice poem. It is Sonnet 34. You are the daughter of the sea. You are the daughter of the sea, oregano's first cousin. Swimmer, your body is pure as the water. Cock, your blood is quick as the soil. Everything you do is full of flowers, rich with the earth. Your eyes go out toward the water and the waves rise. Your hands go out to the earth and the seeds swell. You know the deep essence of water and the earth conjoined in you like a formula of clay. Naiad, cut your body into turquoise pieces. They will bloom resurrected in the kitchen. This is how you became everything that lives. And so, at last, you sleep in that circle of my arms that push back the shadows so that you can rest. Vegetables, silhouette, herbs, form of your dreams. And it was Sonnet 34, You Are the Daughter of the Sea, by Pablo Neruda. I'm pasting these poems because not everybody may have been on Voice, and this is even for everybody who loves the poetry. And actually, okay, back to you, Saber.
You can read one if you like.
Yes, so wonderful. Please go on, Androcles. Mic is yours.
This is called A Dream of Fair Women, and it's by Kingsley Amis. The door is swinging to, and girls revive. Aeronauts in the utmost altitudes of boredom fainting dive into the bright oxygen of my nod. Angels as well, a squadron of draped nudes, they roar toward their god. Militant all, they fight to take my hat. No more as yet, the other men retire, insulted, gestured at. Each girl presses on me her share of what makes up the barn door target of desire, and I'm a crack shot. Speech fails them, amorous, but each one's look, endorsed in other ways, begs me to sign her body's autograph book. Me first, Kingsley, I'm cleverest, each declares, but no gourmet races downstairs to dine, nor will I race upstairs. Feigning a plum, perhaps for half an hour, I hover, and am shown by each princess the entrance to her tower. Open, in that its tenant throws the key at once to anyone, but not unless the anyone is me. Now from the corridor, their fathers cheer, their brothers, their young men. The cheers increase as soon as I appear. From each, I win a handshake and sincere congratulations. From the chief of police, a nod, a wink, a leer. This over, all delay is over too. The first 8 girls, the roster now agreed, leap on me and undo. But honesty impels me to confess that this is all a dream, which was, indeed, not difficult to guess. But wait, not just a dream, because, though good and beautiful, is also true. And hence is rarely understood. Who would choose any feasible ideal in here and now, giant circumference, if that small room were real? Only the best, the others find, have found love's ordinary distances too great, and, eager, stand their ground. Map-drunk explorers, dry land sailors, they see no arrival that can compensate for boredom on the way. And, seeming doctrinaire, but really weak, lime-lighted dolls guttering in their brain, they come with me to seek the halls of theoretical delight, the women of that ever-fresh terrain, the night after tonight. And that was A Dream of Fair Women by Kingsley Amis. Thank you.
So, Androcles, thank you very much. Saber, are you back? If you're talking, we cannot hear you.
This is called Opportunity by Edward R. Sill. This I beheld or dreamt in a dream. There spread a cloud of dust along a plain, and underneath the cloud or in it raged a furious battle, and men yelled, and swords shocked upon swords and shields. A prince's banner wavered, then staggered backward, hemmed by foes. A craven hung along the battle edge, and thought, had I had a sword of keen steel, that blue blade that the king's son bears, but this blunt thing, he snapped and flung it from his hand, and lowering crept away and left the field. Then came the king's son, wounded, sore, beset, and weaponless, and saw the broken sword hilt buried in the dry and sodden sand, and ran and snatched it, and with a battle shout lifted afresh, he hewed the enemy down, and saved a great cause that heroic day. That's Opportunity by Edward R. Sill. If you have a poem that you would like to share, by all means please feel free to do so. You don't have to be a poet to share poetry, and thank you Anastasius for sharing that poem with us. So if you have something you want to share, this is a golden opportunity to do it. Next reader, please. Out to Old Aunt Mary's by James Whitcomb Riley. Wasn't it pleasant, O brother mine, in those old days of lost sunshine, of youth, when the Saturday chores were through, and the Sunday wood in the kitchen too, and we went visiting, me and you, out to old Aunt Mary's. It all comes back so clear today, though I am as bald as you are grey. Out by the barn lot and down the lane we pattered along in the dust again, as light as the tips of the drops of rain. Out to old Aunt Mary's we crossed the pasture and through the wood, where the old grey snag of poplars stood, where the hammering redheads hopped array, and the buzzards raised in the clearing sky, and lolled and circled as we went by, out to old Aunt May's. And then in the dust of the road again, and the teams we met, and the countrymen, and the long highway with sunshine spread as thick as butter on country bread, our cares behind, our hearts ahead, out to old Aunt Mary's. Why, I see her now in the open door, with the little grouds grown up the side, and o'er the clapboard roof, and her face are me. Wasn't it good for a boy to see, and wasn't it good for a boy to be, out to old Aunt Mary's? The jelly, the jam, and the marmalade, and the cherries and quince preserved she made, and the sweet sour pickles of peach and pear, with simians in them, and all things rare. And the more we ate was the more to spare out to old Aunt Mary's. And the old spring house in the country green gloom of the willow trees, and the cooler room where the swinging shelves and the crocks were kept, where the cream in the golden languor slept, while the water gurgled and laughed and wept out to old Aunt Mary's. And as many a time have you and I, barefoot boys, in the days gone by, knelt in the tremendous ecstasies, dipped our lips into the sweets like these, memories now is on her knees, out to old Aunt Mary's. And oh brother, so far away, this is to tell you she waits today to welcome us. Aunt Mary fell asleep this morning, whispering, tell the boys to come, and all is well, out to old Aunt Mary's. If you have a poem that you would like to share, by all means please feel free to do so. You don't have to be a poet to share poetry, but you do have to have a love for the spoken word and a willingness to share, and the more you share, the more you'll get out of the event. Does anybody have a poem that they would like to share?
I could read another one.
Okay, Astra, the mic is yours.
This is called Everything That Acts is Actual, and it's by Denise Levertov. From the tawny light, from the rainy nights, from the imagination finding itself, and more than itself, alone, and more than alone, at the bottom of the well where the moon lives, can you pull me into December? A lowland of space, perception of space, towering of shadows, of clouds, blown upon clouds over new ground, new made under heavy December footsteps. The only way to live? The flawed moon acts on the truth and makes an autumn of tentative silences. You lived, but somewhere else, your presence touched others, ring upon ring, and changed. Did you think I would not change? The black moon turns away, its work done. The tenderness unspoken autumn. We are faithful only to the imagination. What the imagination seizes as beauty must be truth. What holds you to what you see of me is that grasp alone. And that was Everything That Acts is Actual by Denise Levertov. Thank you.
Thank you, Astra, for sharing that with us. Okay, June, the mic is yours.
Okay. This one's called Magma Falls. Magma Falls. The heat will not end, but I know how to deal with pain. It sticks to you, though a few well-placed screams can end in absolution. The trill of the mockingjay sets skirts aflame. These are the dreamers of dreams. Forever dies in a squealing mess of unwashed hearts. Magma falls, the heat will end, for I know how to deal with pain. Thank you.
Thank you, June, for sharing that with us. If you have a poem that you would like to share, by all means, please feel free to do so. Next reader, please.
Well, hello.
Hello, Jules.
Everyone. This is called The Cage by Alejandra Pizarnik. It's a song.
Okay, Ale Angel, the mic is yours.
Well, this is called The Cage, written by Alejandra Pizarnik. It's sunny outside. It's no more than sun, but the man watches and then sings. I don't know the sun. I know the melody of an angel at the last wind's warm sermon. I know how to wail until dawn, when death poses naked in my shadow. I weep beneath my name. I wait handkerchief in the night, and she's thirsty for reality. Dance with me. I conceal names to mock my sick dreams. It's sunny outside. I dress myself in ashes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ale Angel, for sharing that with us. If you have a poem that you would like to share, by all means, please feel free to do so. You don't have to be a poet to share poetry, but you do have to have a love for the spoken word and a willingness to share, and the more you share, the more you'll get out of the event. Each and All by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Little thinks in the field yon red-cloaked clown of thee from the hilltops looking down, the heifer that lows in the upland farm far ahead lows not thine ear to charm. The sexton tolling his bell at noon deems not that great Napoleon stops his horse and lists with delight while he files sweeps around the Alpen height. Nor knowest thou that argument thy life to thy neighbour's creed hath lent? All are needed by each one, nothing is fair or good alone. I thought the sparrow's note from heaven, singing at dawn on the elder borough, I brought him home in his nest at even. He sings the song, but it cheers not now, for I did not bring home the river and sky. He sang to my ears, they sang to my eye. The delicate shells lay on the shore, the bubbles of the latest wave, fresh peels to their enamel gave, and the bellowing of the savage sea greets their safe escape to me. I wiped away the weed and foam, I fetched my sea-born treasure home. But the poor unsightly noisome things had left their beauty on the shore, with the sun and the sand and the wild uproar. The lovers watched his grateful maid, as mid the virgin train she stayed, nor knew her beauty's best attire was woven still by the snow-white choir. At last she came to his Hermitage. Like the bird from the woodland to the cage, the gay enchantment was undone. A gentle wife, but fairy none. Then I said, I covet truth. Beauty is unripe. Childhood's cheats, I leave it behind with the games of youth. And I spoke beneath my feet. The grounded pine curled in pretty wreath, running over the club mossed burrs. I inhaled the violet's breath. Around me stood the oaks and firs. Pine cones and acorns lay on the ground. Over me soared the eternal sky, full of light and of deity. Again I saw, again I heard the rolling river, the morning bird. Beauty through my senses stole. I yield myself to the perfect whole. So if anybody has a poem that they would like to share, by all means please feel free to do so. And Acre, the mic is yours.
Thanks, Sabr. I will read another Neruda because I am totally in love with Neruda poetry, and I will paste the on the local chat. I will paste also Spanish version for Ella Angel, and here it is. And it was "If You Forget Me" by Pablo Neruda. I want you to know one thing. You know how this is. If I look at the crystal moon, at the red branch of the slow autumn at my window, if I touch near the fire the impaled ash or the wrinkled body of the log, everything carries me to you, as if everything that exists, aromas, lights, metals, were little boats that sail toward those islands of yours that wait for me. Well, now, if little by little you stop loving me, I shall stop loving you little by little. If suddenly you forget me, do not look for me, for I shall already have forgotten you. If you think it long and mad, the wind of banners that passes through my life, and you decide to leave me at the shore of the heart where I have roots, remember that on that day, at that hour, I shall lift my arms and my roots will set off to seek another land. But if each day, each hour you feel that you are destined for me with implacable sweetness, if each day a flower climbs up to your lips to seek me, oh my love, oh my own, in me all that fire is repeated, in me nothing is as extinguished or forgotten, my love feeds on your love, beloved. And as long as you live, it will be in your arms without leaving mine. And it was Love Sonnet. No, it was not Love Sonnet. It was If You Forget Me by Pablo Neruda. And by this occasion, since I have the mic on me, I will just remind everybody that this week we have our awesome contest, poetry contest, with the topic of seasons, and there will be amazing sculptures as trophies made by our master builder Jack. He's sadly not here, but they are really awesome trophy to put on a desk at your second home, and also money prizes. But yeah, I hope guys to see you there, at least some of you. And we have two judges. One will be Jolie and the second one will be Shaila. The poems will not be sent to them with the names, so there will be no winning somebody I like, but the best. I will be the only person that knows the names, but I will just have one vote, and I will actually I am thinking maybe for me it's better not to vote, and I think it will be a really nice contest. Okay, enough talking. Back to you, Saber.
Thank you, Aneka, for sharing that with us. Okay, June, the mic is yours.
This one is called Rise. I rise. The world is bright. That is all. Bright, and I can see the rise. The world is rising. All that thing you say when you have nothing. Nothing is that thing you say when you have everything. The rise I see is the dawn. The world is bright, and I can see the dawn, and it is all good. All is the thing you say when you have nothing, and that thing you say when you have everything does not fit. When the world is bright and dawn is over the rise, and I see the becoming of all things new, and I see the dawning of all things bright, and I see that word which is the thing you say when you have nothing and everything, and all I see is the world is bright, and the dawn is over the rise, and life is good. I rise. Thank you.
Is it my turn, Saber?
I think Saber is again talking with voice off. Saber?
Okay, Astra, the mic is yours.
Jolie just came online. And this is called About the Phoenix, and it's by James and Merrill. But in the end, one tires of the high flown. If it were simply a matter of life or death, we should by now welcome the darkening room, wrinkling of linen, window at last violet, the rosy body lax in a chair of words, and then the appearance of unsuspected lights. We should walk wonderingly into that other world with its red signs pulsing and long-lit lanes. But often at nightfall, ambiguous as the city itself, a giant jeweled bird comes calling to the sill, dispersing thought like a bird bath, and with such final barbarity as to wear thin at once terror and novelty. So that a sumptuous monotony sets in, a pendulum of amethyst in the shape of a bird, eat up for ever fiercer flights between ardor and ashes, back and forth. Caught in whose talons any proof of grace, even your face, particularly your face, fades, featureless in flame or wan, a fading tintype of some cooling love, according to the creature's whim. And in the end, despite its pyrotechnic curiosity, the process palls. One night, your body winces grayly from its chair, embarks, a tearful child, to rest on the dark breast of the fulfilled past. The first sleep here is the sleep fraught as never before with densities, plume, oak, black water, a blind flapping. And you wake, unburdened, look about for friends. But oh, could not even the underworld forego the publishing of omens naively? Nothing requires you to make sense of them, and yet you shiver from the dim clay shore, gazing. There in the lake, 4 rows of stilts rise, a first trace of culture, shy at dawn, though blackened, as if its forces long confined had smoldered and blazed forth. In the museum, you draw back lest the relics of those days, a battered egg cup and a boat with feet, have lost their glamour. They have not. The guide fairly exudes his tale of godless hordes, sweeping like clockwork over Switzerland, till what had been your very blood ticks out voluptuous homilies. Ah, how well one might, if it were less than a matter of life or death, traffic in priceless jewels, live and die. But couldn't the point about the phoenix be not agony or resurrection, rather a mortal lull that followed either, during which flames expired as they should, and dawn, discovering ashes not yet stirred, buildings in rain, but set on rock, beggar and sparrow entertaining one another, showed me your face, for that moment, neither alive nor dead, but turned in sleep, away from whatever waited to be endured. And that was About the Phoenix by James Merrill. Thank you.
Thank you, Astra, for sharing that with us. This one is for an Acre by Pablo Neruda. I like for you to be still. I like for you to be still. It is as though you are absent, and you hear me from far away, and my voice does not touch you. It seems as though your eyes had flown away, and it seems that a kiss had scaled your mouth. As all things are filled with my soul, you emerge from the things filled with my soul. You are like my soul, a butterfly of dreams. You are like the word melancholy. I like for you to be still. You have seen, and you seem far away. It sounds as though you are lamenting a butterfly cooing like a dove. And you hear me from far away, and my voice does not reach you. Let me come to be still in your presence, in your silence, and let me talk to you with your silence. This is bright as a lamp, still as a ring, simple as a ring. You are like the night, with its stillness and constellations. Your silence is that of a star, as remote and candid. I like for you to be still. It is as though you are absent, distant, and full of sorrow. So you would have died. One word, then. One smile is enough. And I am happy that it is not true. And that is I Like for You to Be Still by Pablo Neruda. So if anybody has a poem that they would like to share, by all means please feel free to do so. Okay, another Pablo Neruda. Here I love you. Here I love you in the dark pines, the windy disentangled itself. The moon glows like phosphorus on the variant waters. Day all one kind goes chasing each other. The snow unfurls in dancing figures. A silver gull slips down from the west. Sometimes a sail, high star on the black cross of a ship alone. Sometimes I get up early, and even my soul is wet. Far away the sea sounds and resounds. This is a port. Here I love you. Here I love you, and the horizon hides you in vain. I love you still among these cold things. Sometimes my kisses go on those heavy vessels that cross the sea towards no arrival. I see myself forgotten like those old anchors. The piers sadden when the afternoon moors there. My life grows tired, hungry, to no purpose. I love what I do not have. You are far. My loathing wrestles with the slow twilight, but the nights come and starts to sing to me, and the moon turns its clockwork dreams. The biggest star looks at me with your eyes, and as I love you, the pines in the wind want to sing your name with leaves of wire. And that is Here I Love You by Pablo Neruda. Okay. And one last one before we sign off. Tonight I Can Write the Saddest Lines by Pablo Neruda. Tonight I can write the saddest lines. Write, for example, the night is starry and the stars are blue and shiver in the distance. The night wind revolves in the sky and sings. Tonight I can write the saddest lines. I loved you, and sometimes you love me too. Though the nights like this one, I held you in my arms. I kissed her again and again under the endless sky. She loved me. Sometimes I loved her too. How could one not have loved her? So great eyes. Tonight I can write the saddest lines. To think that I do not have her. To feel that I have lost her. To hear the immense night still more immense without her, and the verses fall to the soul like the dews of the pasture. What does it matter that my love could not keep her? The night is starry and she is not with me. This is all. In the distance someone is singing. In the distance, my soul is not satisfied that I have lost her. My sight tries to find her, as though to bring her closer. My heart looks for her, and she is not with me. The same night whitens the same trees. We of that time are no longer the same. I no longer love her, that's certain, but how I loved her. My voice tried to find the wind to touch her hearing. Another's, she is another's, as she was before my kisses. Her voice, her bright body, her infinite eyes. No, I no longer love her, that is certain. But maybe I love her. Love is so short, forgetting is so long. Because through the nights like this one, I held her in my arms. My soul is not satisfied that it has lost her, though this be the last pain she makes me suffer, and these the last verses that I write for her. And unfortunately it brings us to the end of poetry here for today. Thank you everyone for coming and sharing. Stay safe, have fun, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. And we will see you here next week for another hour of poetry.
Usually on Sunday. And I hope you guys to be present at Saturday as well, because we have our awesome contest for poetry this week. Anyway, thanks everybody, and see you.
None. Okay, I need to go somewhere. Be right back.
What is the custom here? Do you wear a different robe every time you come?
Only if you want to. Saber's wearing the same thing.
That's what I noticed. He never does his laundry.
Yes, please read.
Oh, I'm gonna have to put together a whole new wardrobe if I keep coming here.